Hello and welcome. We are about to kick off the first Tribal Council of Can You Survive 2021. Behind me are the players' torches, all lit up and ready. We're just doing some last minute setup before the Pink Tribe files in for Tribal Council. They are lying in wait. You might be able to hear them in the background, but we are gearing up for our first player to be voted out of this game. So we will see. Let's see. All right, so here we go. All right, are we ready to have the players come in?
Yes.
Here we go. TC number 1 of many. All right, here comes the Pink Tribes, seemingly in high spirits. We're about to have to vote someone out. Here they come with all their stuff in case it's them.
All right, Palmyra, come in, take a seat.
There sure are.
Hello. Welcome to Tribal. Behind you is a torch. They're already lit. Obviously, that is the ritual of Tribal Council. In this game, fire represents your life. When your fire is out, so are you. So Patrick, I was going to ask you how the challenge went, but you guys are 0 for 6, so I'll ask you how the challenges went. Tell me about it. What's going wrong?
I don't know that anything's necessarily going wrong. I think that, you know, a lot of these challenges, we were talking about this morning, a lot of these challenges, especially yet last night, we came in like a solid, like close second. Like we could have won them. We were like this close. So I think it's just sometimes it comes down to the puzzle, you know, and a timing of like a split second, someone moves a piece and all of a sudden they figure it out and it's over. So I don't know if there's necessarily something wrong. I just think that we haven't had the right timing.
Okay. Waylon, do you guys feel like you have a leader right now? A voice that stands above the rest?
I don't believe there's a leader. I think we're all pretty diplomatic. We really divvied up, even with the shelter creating or like just different responsibilities. I mean, we built the shelter and some people brought back raspberries for us that they found. We're very much a coagulation.
That's a great word.
Do you think you need a leader out there on the challenges? I mean, there was a little bit of disorganization in today's blindfold challenge. You guys feel like you need a voice to stand ahead?
I think we're experimenting with different people to see their strengths and see if they have the strengths there. I think we've seen some good things too, though.
Yeah. Becca, where do you feel like you fit in this tribe?
I'm not sure exactly where I fit in. I think we all kind of feel like good with each other, and so we all feel like we're like compatible. And I think, you know, I don't think anybody at this point feels in any power position or bottom of the totem pole per se. So.
Okay. Angela, the first vote in Survivor is pretty cliche normally. You know, it's either someone who's really bad at challenges, someone who over-strategized too quickly, maybe a leader, or maybe someone who's obnoxious at camp. Do you feel like this vote's going to fit into any of those categories?
I think it kind of has to. I mean, there has to be kind of like a common denominator between the people that are voting and why they're voting a certain way, but it is really hard because this group is really close, and that sounds so cliche, but we've really bonded. We've had really good discussions, long talks. We all know about each other's families, why we're playing. So I think that makes it even harder.
Yeah, Crystal, Angela brings up a good point. You guys are all playing for charities. Has the charities kind of impacted how you're feeling about this vote? Are you going to behave differently? Are you going to feel a little bit worse? Are you going to maybe not vote someone out because of the charity that they're playing for?
I don't think so. I think we did all have long conversations about our charity and why we chose those last night, but I don't think that's really coming into play yet. I think this is a really hard decision for all of us. Like this is not easy. So like I said, we've all just gotten along so well and bonded, and we're still trying to get to know each other. So this is going to be a really hard vote.
Okay. And Katie, it is a hard decision, but kind of what are the metrics that you're using to make your decision? What are you voting on right now?
Well, I can tell you what I'd be doing if I were on green or blue. I know where I want to pluck people off over there, but it's a different story. I like everyone here, so I think it came down to very little nuanced things, and I'm at this point, I hope we're making the right decision, but this is hard. This is really hard.
And what are those nuances? I mean, like, what do you hope this tribe looks differently tomorrow than it does today, or the next hour, rather? I'll say days here.
That's a really difficult question, and you're being a little Jeff Probesy, and it's... At this point, I know that I have a big personality, and I know that I think that this one, I'm just kind of going with the flow and waiting for things to fall into place.
Alejandro, tell me about camp life. So you guys didn't get the fire. You guys slept on the ground. Tell me how you guys bonded. Were people fitting together? Did you feel like you fit in?
I think so. I think it's been cool. I think like what Wyland was saying, like some of us were doing the shelters, others were like getting raspberries and stuff. So like, I think in general we fit in really good, right? Like we all like really bonded. Like I think the weird thing about today is that none of us had been like one-on-one with each other at any point until today. We had all been together talking as a cohesive unit. So today when it was time to like split up, it was the weird thing of like, hey, you wanna like go over there real fast? Super awkward because we haven't done that. I think for me, I was really, to be frank, like I was really worried coming in, like being born in another place, raised differently, like the only person of color here, like an immigrant, like all these things. I was worried that depending on who I was with, like it could be like, oh hey, like it's just like Philip Bronke, let's get him out kind of thing. But I have felt really accepted. Like I know during conversations, like a lot of people have asked me like, oh, how's your family? And, like tell us more about your country and stuff like that. Like for me that has meant a lot because like yesterday we were talking about like, what was it?
Recorder. The annoying kids recorder.
I thought they were talking about tape recorders, and then they said like, it's like an instrument, and in Mexico we call it flauta, which is a flute, but the flute apparently is like this. So I'm learning a lot, and they've always just been really good about like not being like, oh my god, this idiot doesn't know anything. So I think I was really nervous coming in, but I think the more time that passed, I feel better and less of like stand out and stuff like that. So yeah, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah. And Logan, you had an interesting night. So tell me about your night. How does that kind of change how you approach this vote?
I don't think it really necessarily changes this vote. I mean, it seemed like someone was going to end up there, and it just ended up being me. And I mean, it's kind of a nice experience. I got to meet some of the people in the other tribes. You can kind of probe in, see maybe where they're lacking and where their weaknesses are, and come back. And I didn't feel any like animosity towards me or like that was a hate vote or anything. So
Do you know why you went?
Possibly, but I'm not going to say anything.
That's fair. Patrick, in terms of those one-on-one conversations that Alejandro was talking about, do you feel like you were in enough of them?
I hope so. I think I was. I mean, I talked to everybody, I think, and I think we tried to, again, like, this group is unique. It's like we actually made a point, like Alex was saying, like we were all in a group all day yesterday, so like there really was no splitting off. As soon as it was time to split off, we all decided, okay, let's make sure everyone talks to everyone so it's fair. Like even then we're divvying up and making sure it's fair. So yeah, I hope I was. I think I was.
So either everyone feels really safe or you're all being really cagey. Who's heard their name out there? Raise your hand. You don't want to? Who's heard a name? Who's ready, confident about their vote right now? No one. Angela is.
I mean, I've heard names.
Yeah.
And you're confident about your votes?
Yes.
I think so.
Are you guys ready to vote?
Sure.
All right. Unless anyone else has anything else to say, it's time to vote. Katie, you're up.
Oh, have fun, buddy.
Is there like no tribal music or something?
I know. I was gonna correct that really quick and say we did have a campfire. Remember
I'm sorry. No talking while the votes are happening. Sorry.
No talking at all.
Sorry. It wouldn't be fair.
All right, so we'll go ahead and step away while the voting is taking place. And I will avoid that ant pile that I almost just backed into. Alright. I don't know why I'm walking backwards. I should be walking forwards. Okay, so we're gonna walk away. If you guys watching have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. And all right, so first question, who is hosting this? It doesn't sound like Brandon. It is not Brandon. Cameron, one of our other hosts, is in charge of hosting all tribal councils. He is excellent at coming up with questions, as I think we all saw. He also had a little bit of like a leg surgery, so he cannot run around as much, so he is a designated tribal council person because he can just stand at the Jeff Probst podium or sit as he feels. Hannah wants to know who we think is going. So as we saw and even heard in tribal council, Pink is still seeming to be in kumbaya mode. I do not know how much longer that will last. We will see if it sounds like perhaps this might be a unanimous vote. But we will see how it all shakes out. Obviously everyone there seeming to feel pretty comfortable, and one of them is horribly wrong about that because they will be voted out. You will immediately find out who's voted out during this video, or just I'm stepped away while all the players go vote one by one, and then I will go back and we will all watch together the reading of the votes. Hannah, I do not think we will see an idol play this early for this vote, although Alejandro did walk by me earlier in the tribe's downtime where they were allowed to talk about the vote and turned to me and said, "Did you see what I got at that challenge?" So confirming that Alejandro does have the idol for Pink. I imagine, I do not know if others know, but the entire Pink tribe knew that the idol was there because they knew the clue, so I do not know. Regarding the vote breakdown, I do not know that I will be telling you that. I have not been informed if I'm allowed to share that or not, but we will get to see the live vote out together, and then we will follow whichever player is eliminated off, and we will get their final word, so you will get to hear from each player as they are eliminated from the game. So we shall see. Yeah, I don't know, we shall see. The game is of it? Alright, let's see. I do not know how many more players we have to vote, but we will see how it goes. Is there anyone that y'all are hoping goes? Anyone that you're really hoping sticks around? How many tribals today? Many tribals. Many players are leaving. I will confirm with Brandon if I'm allowed to tell you guys how many exactly, but it's a lot of players going home today, sadly. So we have, 3 days of eliminations and 24 players, so, unfortunately some of them gotta start getting the boot. How many idols are out there right now? Asked by Jessica. So currently in play, we have an idol from Exile, and that went to Logan on the Pink Tribe. We also have an idol from the first immunity challenge with Alejandro on the Pink Tribe, and one immunity idol from the first challenge with Albie on the Blue Tribe. Albie has told Steph about his idol, so we will see. And again, on the Pink Tribe that's currently voting, Alejandro has it. I do not know who he's told, but everyone knows that it was there, so I imagine that his whole tribe is aware. We will see. So questions, guys. Thanks for asking. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, also, so just wanted to let you know, so just because Pink is going first for Tribal Council, that does not mean that whoever's voted out here gets 24th place. Because Pink and Blue both lost, both players eliminated will have a tied placement. So even though we're seeing this person and they are technically the first person being voted out of the game, they are not technically like in the very last place. So that is a small comfort. These guys braved a really cold night out here. It was so cold we could see our breath. We were all shivering in the production tents and cars, etc. And, you know, that was with all of our blankets and everything. So I can only imagine how the players fared out in the elements. Also mentioned earlier, there were coyotes screaming in the night. So these players have already had to brave an extraordinarily difficult night. In the elements, and so to, you know, be voted out first thing is pretty devastating. But as we all know, this is Survivor and you gotta go eventually, so we will see. All right, I'm gonna bring us back over to camp. We're gonna check in and see how the voting is faring, and perhaps we are almost ready to hear the vote. So back we go to the Tribal Council area. Looks like we are almost done with voting, maybe. Here is Cameron, our Tribal Council host, with his snuffer ready to snuff out the first torch. How are we doing on voting here? Last vote. All right, team, we had perfect timing. Go us.
All right, I'll go tally the votes.
All right. Away Cameron goes on his crutches. He's been crutching around all weekend. He was very excited to get out of his house for this. He has been on bed rest for about 2 weeks now, so he was very pumped to be out here, and yeah, so we will see. Pink Tribe now awaiting the result of the very first vote. While we wait, I'm going to bring you over to our fabulous Can You Survive charity event sign that we have right here at Tribal Council. Yes, Michael, he has to hobble away to tally the votes. I think originally Brandon was going to try and do it for him, so he didn't have to do that, but Brandon is busy setting up the next challenge for these players. It is a little elaborate, and so he is getting all of that together. But we have most of the rest of the production team here. So here we are. All right, we are coming back with the vote. Oh, there's Brandon. He just popped on over like a sneaky ninja without me even noticing.
All right. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play one, now would be the time to do so. Okay, I'll read the votes. First vote, Logan. Second vote, Crystal. 1 vote Logan, 1 vote Crystal. Third vote, Crystal. Fourth vote, Crystal. Fifth vote, Crystal. Sixth vote, and the first person voted out of Can You Survive 2021, Crystal. That's 5. That's enough. Please bring me a torch. tribe has spoken. Grab your stuff.
All right, Crystal just voted out, saying her goodbyes to her tribe.
Brandon.
All right, we are following Crystal on down the path. Yes, we are going this way.
Just stop wherever.
Yeah.
That's all right. We had fun last night.
Good. I'm glad. So this is your opportunity to, say anything you want to say here, and then I have a couple questions for you. And
I'm a little sad I didn't get to meet anybody on the other tribes, but this tribe was amazing. Like, we really did have a really good night, and I don't know. There's not much else I can say. I don't really want to cry. I'm the first one out.
yeah, awesome. Let's see. We just wanted to know, what was your favorite part of the experience?
Probably doing the challenges, because I didn't really think I had it in me. I ate that gross fish stuff. Nobody on my tribe wanted to, so I was like, I'll do it. They seemed super appreciative because they were like, we really don't want to do that. But yeah, I mean, I pushed through. I slept on the ground with no fire last night, so.
Yeah, and there are a lot of things to be proud of, obviously, that you did. What is something that you're the most proud of?
Probably sleeping on the ground, honestly, like, with no food. Like, I like food. I like to eat. So I think, like, we split an orange last night, and I had half an apple this morning. So I feel like still doing good. We were all really positive, and I have no hard feelings. Everybody was great. It had to happen to somebody.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We
you.
absolutely adored having you here. Thank you so much, Crystal. And if you want to give one last quick shout out about the charity that you have now
Yes.
get a donation for.
So we played for Project Sparrow, and Project Sparrow advocates for foster children in the state of Maine. And there's a huge need, so they like to educate foster parents, and they provide items that families need when a kid comes into care. They plan activities, like I know there's an aquaboggin trip coming up, and so it's a really great organization. So I'm glad they got a little something.
That's awesome. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Crystal.